Battle of Magnesia, fought in December 190 BC, was a decisive conflict between the Roman Republic, led by Consul Lucius Cornelius Scipio, and the Seleucid Empire under Antiochus III the Great, with the Kingdom of Pergamon, ruled by Eumenes II, as Roman allies. Antiochus had allied with Philip V of Macedon, hoping to conquer the Ptolemaic kingdom and expand his empire. Following his victory in the Fifth Syrian War, Antiochus turned his focus to Asia Minor, which worried the independent cities of Smyrna and Lampsacus. Fearing that Antiochus would control the region, these cities called on Rome for help. In October 196 BC, a Roman delegation met with Antiochus in Lysimachia, demanding his withdrawal from Europe and the restoration of Greek city-states' autonomy in Asia Minor. By the winter of 195 BC, the Carthaginian general Hannibal, fleeing from Carthage, found refuge in Antiochus's court in Ephesus. Meanwhile, Antiochus worked to rebuild his alliance with Philip the Vacuum after Philip's crushing defeat by the Romans at the Battle of Cynocephalae in 197 BC. With the Roman Rhodian fleet defeating the Seleucid navy, Antiochus lost control of the Aegean Sea, paving the way for a Roman invasion of Asia Minor. The Romans were determined to decisively defeat the Seleucids. As the Roman army advanced, they united with the forces of Pergamon, reaching Maronea. The Romans formed their battle lines in the traditional triplex aces formation, the hastati, young, lighter infantry, in the front, the principes, heavier infantry, in the second line, and the veterans, the triarii, in the third. Scipio commanded the Roman center, with Eumenes leading the right flank. The Roman army numbered between 30,000 and 50,000, while the Seleucid forces, including both infantry and cavalry, were around 50,000 to 70,000 strong. The Seleucid army was formed with a 16,000-strong Macedonian phalanx in the center, commanded by Philip, flanked by war elephants and light infantry. The right wing was led by Antiochus, with cataphracts, heavily armored cavalry, Agema cavalry, shield bearers, archers, and light infantry. Antiochus's son, Seleucus, and nephew, Antipater, commanded the left flank, which was also composed of cataphracts, archers, and light infantry, with scythed chariots positioned at the front. The battle began on the Seleucid left flank, where Eumenes' forces sent skirmishers and spearmen to harass the Seleucid scythed chariots. The chariots, suffering heavy casualties, panicked, throwing the cataphracts behind them into disarray. Eumenes took advantage of this, charging with his cavalry before the cataphracts could reorganize. The Roman and Pergamene cavalry broke through the Seleucid left, sending the cataphracts fleeing. Meanwhile, the Roman center advanced against the Macedonian phalanx. Though the phalanx held firm initially, the Roman skirmishers inflicted significant damage. The war elephants positioned between the phalanx lines began to panic, causing chaos and disrupting the formation. As the Seleucid left flank collapsed, the right wing, led by Antiochus, was bogged down in the fighting, unable to reinforce the center. The Seleucid center, now exposed, was left vulnerable. The Macedonian phalanx, trampled by their own elephants and outflanked, began to break apart. Phalangites discarded their weapons and began to flee. Despite an attempt to regroup, Antiochus could not save his army. As his forces scattered and the remaining survivors fled the battlefield, the Seleucids were forced to relinquish all of their holdings in Asia Minor to Rome, Pergamon, and other Greek city-states. This defeat marked the end of the Seleucid Empire's power in the region, and they would never regain their former glory.